That very soon, but I want to get back to you before we even talk more about Tszyu. You said your timetable 6 months, November, December. Who do you have your eye on a return as a return opponent?
Man, to be honest, I know boxing, right? I didn't have my eye on Tszyu, you know, but I signed the contract, you know? So my eye's not on anybody. My eye right now is on my recovery, right? That takes precedent over anything. Then what matters is when it gets down to the time for me to get in training camp and sign that next contract, who's ready to fight? Who just fought? Whoever just fought later, you know, as the year continues and fights unfold, I'm gonna have to take what's out there, you know? Where's Thurman gonna be? Do I go back down to 147? Do I fight at 54? There's two doors, whichever one the contract comes from, and we like to fight, we're gonna commit. I'm willing to compete in both weight classes. Don't think I'm running away from 147. I only signed the contract with Tszyu because it was something fun to do, you know? That's what I do. Not only fun for me, entertaining for you. And that's what I do. That's what I bring to the world of boxing. So let's see what lines up, which stars, which heavy hitters are going to be brought to the table later on this year. We can't really make a prediction, so it's pointless to say what I want at this time.
I have someone in mind, and it actually lines up to everything that you've been talking about. Action-packed, fighter that fights similarly to action style like yours, and also at the same time is fighting Tszyu. I interviewed him a couple weeks back, and he actually said the one time he got up and was excited before this Tszyu announcement was he was going to fight you. There was negotiations talk about fighting you. And that's Vergil Ortiz.
And 2 weeks later, I got the phone call saying they don't want to fight. So it is what it is, man. I guess they're more prepared now. They're more mentally, physically. Maybe they feel more comfortable at that time. But at that time of his career, whoever was making the calls on his team, I did get the phone call. You know me, I'm transparent. I'll let you know what it is, right? I did get the phone call from Al Heyman's side to say, hey, Keith, do you have any interest in this fight? And I said, yes. It only took 2-3 seconds. I said, yes, no problem. And only a few days later, they got back with me and said, well, actually, they said they'll hold off. They said they do want you, Thurman, but they said they'll hold off. So it looks like they're done holding off, and maybe we can make the fight happen. But like you said, he's got to get past Tszyu. I like the fight. I do think that he offers a challenge to Tszyu. But, you know, Tszyu's coming off of a loss. When he was preparing for me, they asked, have you done anything new for Keith Thurman? I didn't do nothing new. We're doing the same old thing. I hope Tszyu realizes that if you really want to compete at the highest level, you need to up your game. You need to add slight little nuances to the way that you prepare, to the way that you box, and the way that you ultimately perform. So it's a good matchup. It's going to be a great one for the fans. And, you know, let's see what happens with the winner.
Who do you think wins that fight? Honestly, your opinion.
I believe both men are capable of winning. I believe the way that you look at the fight, because I favor Vergil. I favor Vergil, but he's been inactive. His body's been through a lot. Just like the way you guys question me, you know, there's some speculation.
Yeah.
So it's his job to prove to us that there's nothing to speculate, that he's just as sharp, just as fast, has those devastating combos, you know, and is as explosive, and that he can dominate a fighter like Tszyu. I know I was planning to do it, so let's see what he does.